Hi folks, Chris Martin here, and this is the last of the after-action recap videos from the World Diplomacy Championships held at WeaselMoot in Chicago in the summer of 2016. We pick up where we left off last time with Adam Silverman having 2 disbands and a difficult choice to make. He's got forces near his home, he's got forces out in Russia. What's he going to pick up? We'll find out. Some really important decisions here, that being the first one. Another one, Peter Jürgen, a choice between moving on Andrew Goff in Russia, moving back on Chris Brand in Italy. His decision affects who becomes the world champion. And then at the end, we have a little bit of discussion about what it means to have a top board as a player, what you want to have, what you need to have, how a tournament director might organize things to better accommodate the players so that everybody has a good time. I've learned a lot over the last year making these videos. I hope you've enjoyed them. If you like what I've been doing, go ahead and give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep making more videos about diplomacy, and if you want to support that, you can go ahead and find me on Patreon and click in just a little subscription whenever I post a new video. That would be greatly appreciated. So without any further ado, let's get to the action. So here's actually, I think, a really interesting decision that you made, Adam, with the 2 removals that you ended up having.
Yep.
You pick up the removals in Russia, right? And
I thought they were good removals.
This is I was about to go for that, right?
Yeah.
How did you make that decision?
I mean, it was a simple decision, right?
Yeah.
It was like, well, I mean, no,
I
think largely, Nathan had been kind of playing me all game. He did an awesome job,
and you were sick of it.
And I was sick of it, and frankly, I had been working with Andrew, and I had been the one to move on him. I was like, I'm going to pull out of him. If he decides to take it, he decides to take it. I'm not going to give Nathan any reason why he can get any gains. If Andrew gets something out of it, great. If he decides to let me hold it for the time being, even better. But I mean, it was a very simple decision.
Okay.
If I took stuff back from England, I mean, I'm going to lose that. Nathan's not going to stop pushing. At least I've got a chance diplomatically with Andrew.
But I do think that a lot of people are just going to be like, all right, well, what dots am I sitting on?
No,
right, what dots
it was actually a really easy choice.
I think that especially on a board like this, 100%. I think a lot of people would have a harder time getting to that right answer. You built the nice 3 build here, Army Fleet.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is it, we're done.
I got it.
We're going to call this. All right.
Because I assumed, and this is where I keep saying this, I assumed that Andrew was going to take some of the stuff off of Silverman because, and I understand justification for not doing it, and I think you're right, but in the moment, I really thought like, oh, Goff's going to take these, and then Adam will evaporate. I'll get the lion's share of that. We're good. And yeah, I should have, done it, put the pressure on England turn before, but I'm feeling at this point like I played that perfectly.
Right.
It was a fake. I did it perfectly. I got time, and then what's going to happen is that there's not going to be momentum, and I'm just going to stagnate. And then.
So you built Fleet Rome, and at this point you must be thinking, all right, tensions with Nathan are high enough that I've got to commit some more forces to the theater.
Yeah, I mean that's why I built the fleet.
Okay.
Although, I mean, it never really got all out aggressive.
Nope. You just kind of lots of positioning.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're into 1906.
Exactly what we said we wanted to avoid. It was just gradually escalating more and more.
It's a waste of
throw
units
another
for
fleet in
France
each
and Italy.
year.
Like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of positioning here in 1906 around the island as you convoy back home, right? And you and Dave finally get it together, and you don't bounce. You go to Armenia, and he goes to Constantinople. Not getting any support for it. Peter, you got back into Greece here. Yep. And you finally bring Bohemia back home with a little help you made. Right? Marseille goes to Spain. You push yourself into Tunis, so you're going to be able to hold that fleet line there. I remember you kind of making the pitch, going around and saying, we should vote the draw now. You guys should just let it happen. Do you have any? How'd that go?
Misread that.
Who said no?
Everyone. Except me.
Yeah, except for you.
You're loyal, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, whatever you need, sir.
Yes, whatever you need, sir. Yes, I will vote that, sir.
Peter, do you
No.
still think that you were getting out of this alive?
No,
Fred here?
I'm just trying to stay alive at this point, but I know I've got no shot. So
Really? Okay. That wasn't how I read your position at all.
And he spent the entire game just in Russia.
yeah, the whole
see,
game.
But I thought at this,
And-
I would have thought at
And
this.
I could tell I'd spent a lot of that game also trying to create some conflict between these two, and saw that it was not happening. It was. I think there were 2 or 3 turns there where it looked like it was kind of conflict, but it was like almost looked like it was on theater more than anything else. And once I realized these two were never going to attack each other, I was like, I've got no shot. So
I think this was the point where we agreed that Dave was going to die. We were going to have his dead seat.
Yeah. I think at this point, it's down to the 3 of us for the world championship. And I thought you were favoured at that point.
with 4 dots.
Yep. And I think I even said that on the video.
I tell you, I'd already written myself
Peter,
out.
he's
off
at
the-
10,
off the-
you're at
we
8,
had-
I'm at
we
4.
had this conversation.
Because he thinks that Nathan's going to now get his hair cut.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to have
Nathan and Chris crash into each other. You get your centers back off Chris. You get
Yeah.
an extra 1 in Turkey. Your 4 becomes a 7.
I checked
The main difference between you and I at this point was I had spent the whole game trying to get these two fighting, and I realized at that point these two were not going to fight.
I mean,
We'd all had our fights.
Yeah.
we had diplomacy. Like Andrew and I were talking about who do we want to win and what's going to happen. And of course, with the caveat, no, I will not let you win. I'm going to continue fighting against you. You came up quite regularly in our conversations. Like Peter could win, and I said, I do not want Peter to win. I want Nathan to win.
Thanks, buddy.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Hey, look, listen. Sometimes when somebody gets you, you gotta just like, dude, he crushed me.
Yeah.
That was great. Goffey like stoned me, but Nathan's moves were brilliant. You have to say like, all right, you got me, and I'm on your side now because that was good, well played. You know, and sometimes that happens.
Yep.
Need more cheerleaders. That's what I needed.
I'm sorry.
You needed more
What you
cheerleaders.
more needed to do is you actually need to listen to me when I was giving you actual advice. Because you were not listening to me. And I was getting frustrated, which is why I did take a swing to get my home centers back. Right this turn, by the way.
You get Liverpool back.
Right.
You don't lose either of those Scandinavian dots, and in fact, you walk further away from them. Right? As you go in here, you
This is the moment. This is where I'm going to lose the world championship. Adam, what are you going to do?
get back into Denmark with his help.
Right.
Yeah. You guys are actually, you and Peter are still looking pretty good here. You got him out to walk out of Albania to back out of his stuff, right? Why not just attack Trieste here? I guess you can't also cover
I
Serbia,
could cover Serbia.
right? Yeah. All right.
You
Chances.
You,
you have to
in
take
fact,
chances.
by the way, did not cover Serbia.
I did not.
Yeah, at all. So no point in dislodging him, right? I guess you're not going to also do that. You say we're good, and send your fleets back up north, but and you're pushing your armies back through.
This was
yeah.
actually the turn where I went to him and said, here's what I would like to do. I'm going to stop helping Nathan to Goffey. I'm going to make a play for Munich. You're going to support me. And he did not.
No, in fact, he swung it wrong.
No, he swung at Berlin instead.
No regrets. Moving on.
That was my
Someone
plan.
told me I was getting support to Berlin.
Why would you listen to me?
Very good question.
Honestly, after you observed me playing that specific game, and then what I was clearly doing, like, I don't know why you're like, oh, definitely.
All right, so Adam, you've got 2 builds. You're back in it. 2 more fleets. Happy with that? I feel like those were the
I
right
think
fit?
at this stage in
Yep.
the game, it's probably the right play. We're starting to
Just
run down.
transportation.
We're starting
Yep.
to run out of time. I'm looking at the clock, and armies are going to take a long time to develop. I need to.
You're
get
not
some-
going to convoy across the English Channel.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this stage, it's probably the right call.
All right, winter of 1908. 3 game years left to play. I guess you don't know.
Well, I
that.
don't know that, but
Yeah.
I'm starting to look at the time and
Okay.
say, hey,
I actually think this is the turn. This is when you weren't unable to follow it up, and you put your fleets down. This is when you had lost.
Yeah. That felt it.
Okay.
And Adam's upcoming move back against me is
Yeah, coming up.
So this is the backstabber here is not accurate on this, but this is kind of showing what happens. You drop down into the Baltic, and you're coming back up. So maybe you're going to take St. Petersburg, maybe not. You pick up the Turkish dot, and you're coming back up to Galicia.
that was pretty much by agreement that I was getting St. Petersburg back.
Ah, okay, fair. Yeah, you put him in Denmark. It's hard not to argue with that.
No, you take Denmark. I think you take Denmark back, and he takes St. Petersburg.
Could be.
I think
Do
that's
you
what-
remember if you just like walked out of the Mediterranean positions trying to keep him out, or if he picked you out at that point? Do you remember?
No, he didn't
walked.
kick me out.
I
I
think
was
he walked, yeah.
I was going back. My hope was that the wheels are coming off.
I have a
My-
feeling neither of us ever kicked each other out or anything in the West.
No,
in the
there was
right?
no forcing into any.
was
That,
not.
I think
that
it
was
was-
me
Yeah.
trying to get that the whole time and realized it just
I'm just going back because I need to stop Adam.
Okay.
And I'm following up because
I
why
can
not?
make some-
I've got the fleets there.
might as well go. So yeah, this is the turn. You're sitting in the Gulf of Leon, the Western Med, and the Tyrrhenian Sea, and you support each other whole. Right? Why attack anything down there? Right?
I'm
World
looking at
champions.
I'm looking at balance of power in the West at this point.
You decide not to take St. Petersburg here, thinking again you're going to get Berlin, possibly.
I thought Adam and I were absolutely rock solid, and I absolutely thought Adam needed to be pressuring France in order for anyone other than Nathan to have a shot.
Okay. So he's doing that to a certain extent. Oh, and so you're helping with that.
Yeah,
And you don't want him to be picking anything
100%
up.
on Adam's side.
You've got to have. He's got. In order for you to have a chance, Nathan has to go backwards.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I'm a long shot at this point, but I'm trying
This
to
is
win
when I
on
take
battle.
Romania off of.
This is what
Yes.
I'm trying
Instead of Trieste back.
Yeah, because at this point, I think at this point, Chris and I had worked somewhat together for like 2-3 turns in a row, right?
Well, let's
It was
just be
So
certainly a record.
I didn't think he
Let's
was
be
going to
clear.
take Serbia.
Chris hadn't stabbed you.
Correct.
For 2
He
years
hadn't
in a
walked into
row.
any of my open dots. I had like
Okay.
he had pieces touching at least 2
Yeah.
or 3 of my open dots
That's
for
right.
3 seasons and did not take them. So
Okay.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a shot at Andrew. You always had impeccable timing because I
tell
didn't
you-
tell you I was stabbing Andrew.
Absolutely.
You just knew to take Serbia there. It's like I would have built to 5, and then again maybe I got a shot.
In this game, I managed to read you really
did.
well, and that was one of the key things that led to my success. Was I knew when you were when I could leave dots
I was
open to
completely
you,
frazzled at this
and when
point,
you were
yeah.
going to leave dots open to me, and I don't even know how I did it. But
hurts to look at that.
Right. So it's another army. You actually end up building because you got dislodged somewhere.
Okay.
So you are able to rebuild in Vienna. You put down another army, and
yeah, I don't need
that's
fleets.
it. And Dave is finally out. Sorry. Here's to you, Dave.
He
All right.
was out before I was. That's,
So now we have the throes of the Russian-Austrian war with a little Italian. Oh, I guess I'll get all of the Austrian dots in that war. And Adam, you make.
Funny how the misorders stopped.
Amazing. I'm going to reiterate, by the way, that his tactically brilliant moves today were all executed flawlessly with 0 misorders.
Okay. Adam, I think that you drive the end game here, right? By not continuing to attack Nathan. What were you thinking? Were you thinking that you were gonna get?
I think that I was looking for a turn or two of position against Nathan where he would continue in the south, where I could get him kind of out of the way. And I thought that I could sell that by making, number one, making the moves in the north, and number two, again, it was a time pressure, and I felt like, at some point, at some point I've either got to take the rest of that and just so I have the dots,
Got it
or
around the wrong way.
Andrew's going to go back up there and do it because he
Right.
needs the dots at some
Right.
point because we're running out of time here. So I thought, I get a little bit of leeway with Nathan, and then maybe I can get something out of the Low Countries or Northern Germany.
Okay. You were pitching pretty hard to each of them that if they didn't go away, you were going to throw the other one at the top, right?
That really, I don't think that was a real selling point. I knew that Chris was ahead of me. I mean, he's gonna throw Chris the top, and Chris already had the top. So that
No, Chris. I mean, if you look at the dot count here, he's
Chris
ahead of you.
and so is Nathan at that point. So
you guys are both at 8 at this point. You're at 11 at this turn.
right. So what am I concerned? He's gonna throw it to Nathan. I mean, Nathan's already 3 dots ahead of me. So
Yeah.
But look at
so
this,
he's gonna throw
look
it
at
to
this
Chris.
move. Bohemia supports Piedmont to Tyrolean. I'm like, this was like shit that was happening the whole game. I'm like, I cannot figure out what the hell's going on in this game. Why are the two people on the top helping each other when we're almost out of time?
Yeah.
And why aren't you attacking the person on the top?
And why aren't you?
But
Actually,
honestly,
when I say I can stop him,
you got on
help
well
him.
together.
I can stop him.
I was
Honestly, I could have gone from
I want it more
2
time.
to 4.
Nathan and I.
And then you could have won the world championship.
You would have had much more play.
I absolutely didn't see Adam coming back in my direction at this point. I found that remarkable and
infuriating.
And
I thought it was
to be
entirely-
honest, it still doesn't make sense to me. There's no way you can win the world championship with that set. You have to take centers off Nathan to do it, and you have to trust that something happens to Chris.
He was probably thinking
I
Nathan was
was
the only enemy
shocked
Chris
that
could
you
possibly have. I wasn't.
not do
I clearly couldn't take anything.
Yeah, and maybe that was the mistake.
What I would have fully expected is that you would have dedicated force
But
to
you could still have been
capture
taking stuff off of
the
Chris.
What?
Mid-Atlantic.
You can take both Serbia
not
and
moving
Trieste back
to
here.
the Norwegian and try and figure
I
out.
don't think that's the right
how
set
I
of
can
words.
get
I don't
No,
think
that's
held in
right.
Greece.
That is absolutely right, Peter. You had 2 centers
I
off
think,
Italy and nothing
I think
off
this
me.
was
You
the
were
turn when you could have
Yeah.
stabbed me.
So
This
There
might have
was
been the
definitely
one
a point
season.
where I was very vulnerable to you.
You know, but this is
but
like,
you know what? You weren't going to do it that turn. So.
I just want to reiterate again, like this is time pressure
Yeah.
in the game where
And psychological.
and psychological pressure where we can't hear what the clock is. We're outside in an antechamber where there are no speakers and people are trying to negotiate what's going on in a course of 8 minutes and write orders in those 8 minutes
Yep,
because
same
of
time.
reading going over.
Can I throw in another one at this point, which was that other players had started really getting eliminated from other games.
Yes.
Ah,
And
spectators.
we had spectators.
Not only were they in the way, but there were moments where they were fairly loudly discussing rules, which
Yeah.
required quite a lot of energy to tell them to politely go away.
No, that is absolutely the case.
So
And
you-
And a lot of what they were talking about was absolute masturbation with no knowledge of anything.
But it's exhausting to have to like clear your table of other players just to get back to the table to turn your own orders in.
where you've already only got 30 seconds
Yeah.
when you thought you had 3 minutes.
And we're getting to the
Was-
end where everyone's frazzled. Like,
Everyone is
I am
frazzled.
like, ugh, you know.
It's been an intense game.
This-
Like, the whole thing is
You and I still had that kind of relationship
Yeah.
where we were friends, right?
Yeah.
You probably just asked, "Hey, will you support me into Tyrolean?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
We never.
Yeah, we're
we
kind of-
basically decided.
We were kind of racing for the
Yeah.
win, but it was a friendly race.
It
Right?
was a race. I was like, let's just. Go.
And then there's a later move, I think, where you support me in somewhere.
Yeah, like
Oh,
you end up in
you
Vienna
really shouldn't have done that.
accidentally,
It's like-
and yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
We just had that kind of nice relationship. But
So, you know, once Peter, once you and Goff get entangled in each other, right? That costs you you win that fight, but all of the time it takes to have that fight takes you out of any chance of running, especially because you rolled back into those dots, right?
Right at this moment, I would get.
Yep.
I'm actually really happy with my play from here on.
Yeah.
But I'm fighting to stay on 6, not go up.
Yeah.
Whereas if Adam hadn't come back, I'm actually looking at what you've done and thinking, well, if I get your dots, I'm on 9 or 10.
And you have a chance.
And I reckon even the move you stabbed, I thought I was going to win the fight. I don't blame you for trying because you didn't have a very wide path to victory. You had to go one
I had
way
to
or
try
the
to
other.
get that belt. So.
Had to be Chris or me.
Chris
Pick me.
fucking Serbia.
All right, so here we are, 1910. We are skipping through. Hey, we are not talking about 1909. We're going to pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, can't we have my favorite move of the whole time?
I actually didn't get that move in here.
I'm pretty sure
you
I
were
died
supporting back
in
in.
1909, so I'm sort of embittered.
No,
No, you
it's
and I
not
died
until
on the same
1910.
Oh, we do?
You die in the last.
I died-
You came up to me
I
and
took you the last dot.
Okay.
For some reason-
Which was like, by the way, I didn't care because he needed the dial. I was like,
To try.
yeah, you gotta do this. I was sort of annoyed that you did not get to Silesia way earlier. Because I was trying to push you there.
Well, he wasn't trying to
forever.
win tactically, right? This was his whole
That was
thing.
the,
But you can't.
Yeah, well, thanks.
You can't win diplomatically.
Lessons from the 2016 World Championship.
You have to win tactically.
I also,
Well, Chris was trying to win tactically.
I was trying to win.
You can't just poop on it.
although I was also at the point where I was trying to be nice to everyone except Peter.
I was so stressed this whole game.
You were stress monkey.
It wasn't my fault.
It was all your
I spent a
fault.
lot of time thinking, overthinking.
All right, so here we are, end of the game, and Chris, you were crowned world champion.
It was happening. He was like looking what's going on there.
So we got to wrap this up, guys. This has been great. Thank you so much. Final thoughts? Any thoughts about like if you're gonna an event wants to hold a top board, right, for a World DipCon or a DipCon, should you be in a separate room with your own timer? Do you want a GM to read all the orders? There were a lot of misorders. There were a lot of misadjudications. I mean, a lot. There were a couple of misadjudications.
There were more than this group should have had.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
But,
that's
like-
true. And you know, I actually saw one of them and ignored it
Yep.
because
Yeah,
it
I
was
definitely
amusing
happened.
to me.
Yep.
I didn't see any of them, and I wish I'd seen all of them.
You know what? I actually really like what you just said about being in a separate room with a GM. I really did not like having, as you talked about, players around there commentating and spectating, and going back to 2007 when I won Worlds, having people like betting on the game and sitting there making odds on who was going to win.
That's kind of awesome. But if they're in a separate room,
No, but it was really irritating to have them literally sitting at the table.
Oh, wow.
And all these people sitting there while and Adam was on my board, while we're actually trying to play the game. It's incredibly distracting.
Okay.
And when you're on a drop dead clock, you really don't need any additional distractions because you really have enough just with the other players around you.
Den Haag had a really nice setup for top board because we had our own room and it was just us playing in there. I think we also had someone independent reading all the orders and doing all the adjudication. And
I do think there's got to be.
that is kind of nice.
I mean, in principle, I think what
It's not always
what you guys
possible.
are saying is great, but in practice, I feel like it's kind of awesome for the rest of the people in the tournament to be able to see what's going
That's
on.
the whole
And
point
I
of a
feel
top
like,
board is
and I
for
feel like,
everybody
and I
to
feel
be able
like being in its own room, that
I
it kind of
really
sets
like
from
the
that
idea
perspective.
of live streaming what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you had one room
Maybe you can do
that's
that.
private.
Yeah, maybe you can do
This
that.
is where this game is happening.
Be a little bit more
The rest
strict
of
about
the
who
game,
can
what
sit
I'm
at the
doing
table.
down
or
here.
even
Like
something
more
like
ground
chess or
rules.
something
like
like that.
tape. So like stay behind the tape.
Yeah,
Right.
it's got to be
Even
Yeah.
like the tennis match.
Cordon it off a little
We
bit.
had people who misordered an entire turn because of other things going on.
Yeah, that
in
kind
the
of
tournament.
sucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is utterly ridiculous. We need to be, this is the top board, we need to be able to hear the clock. We need to be able to see the clock. There was no
Yep.
video outside where we were negotiating.
All right.
And to
I
have,
think they got that message
and
loud
to
and
have
clear.
25 people
Yeah.
at the end of the game, literally,
No,
around the
absolutely.
table, blocking the players from
Yep.
sitting down.
And that's just a
was-
matter of like the tournament organizers
Yeah.
knowing in advance that this is something that they're going to want to set up and plan for
Set some ground
and make
rules.
that happen. Yeah,
It's just,
absolutely.
it's just an etiquette thing. It's
Yeah.
everyone should just, it's just a thing that
Yeah.
you
All right.
should do.
So, guys, it's time to start the next round here at Whipping. We've talked about diplomacy for 90 minutes or 2 hours or so. Thank you very much. And really appreciate all your great feedback. I think I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about the YouTube videos,
I thought
which
it was-
not would have
they
been
were great.
possible without all of you guys.
They were great.
Yeah.
They were great.
Great job.
No, it was
Great
awesome.
job, Chris.
Thank you for doing
It,
that.
it actually was not as distracting as I thought it might have been.
No, I really thought it was good.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I did not really notice going on during that.
And I thought it was going to change how we talk to each other and what we were doing. And I don't.
It was very
Well,
unobtrusive.
with the occasional.
But I think also
Muddied the camera.
none of us
I
were
may
afraid
have
to
broken
tell
the
Chris,
fourth
"No,
wall."
go away.
Yeah.
I need to do something else at the moment."
And
When you were
remember,
looking for
kids,
the one.
way to become a world champion is to misorder early, often, and just make them the best misorders you can.
That's right.
Early and often.
Congratulations, Chris Brand, world champion.
That's all she wrote about World Diplomacy Championship 2016. Thank you guys very much for coming along with me on this journey. I'm going to the World Diplomacy Championships held in Oxford in July here of 2017, and I imagine that there'll be some reporting back from that. Until next time, I'm Chris Martin, and I'll stab you soon.